All right, so for this one, just like before, if you wanted to, you could solve for y, graph it, and then see if it's in the shaded area. But honestly, the easiest thing to do is just plug those points in and see if it's a true statement. If it is a true statement, yep, it's a good one. If it's not, then no, it's not or it's not a solution. So remember when you plug in, use parentheses. So 3 times my x coordinates 2 minus my y. And supposedly that is all less than 10. 2 negatives is a positive. So 3 times 2 is 6. 6 plus 1 is 7. That is a true statement. Remember, the alligator eats the bigger number. So yes, it is a solution. Over here, we just plug in once again. So my y is -4. My x is -3. And supposedly, that's all greater than or equal to -5. All right, so -4. 2 times -3 is -6. That's -10. If you don't believe me, put it in your calculator. The alligator is not eating the bigger number because -10 is not greater than or equal to -4. So that's false. So therefore, it is not a solution. All right. All right, Jake's allowance for the month is $90. So congratulations, Jake, you get $90. He wants to go to buy a skateboard for $55. So you need to write and solve an inequality that shows how much money he can spend that month, including the purchase of the skateboard. All right, so $90 is all he gets. Okay, that's the max amount. So 90 has to be greater than or equal because he can't. That's the greatest amount he can spend, and he can spend up to 99. Now he really, really, really wants that skateboard, which is $55. Okay, so the variable, you can use whatever letter you want. I want to use an S, Miss Beck. Okay, well, you do you. I'm going to use X because that's easy. So that plus $55 is going to give us our answer. So that's what you need to put in here. Be careful on the test. You need to be able to write that in there. Don't forget. And then all we do is solve. So we just subtract 55. Therefore, X is less than or equal to 35. So that's my answer. All right, next one. Okay, so we're going to graph. Lucky for us on the first one, it's in y equals mx plus b. So I'm just going to go ahead and graph it. I go to my y, which is a positive 3. My slope is 2 over 1, up 2 over 1. You should be able to do this in your sleep at this point. All right. It's just a greater than. It doesn't have that equal under there, so we need to make it dashed. Please be dramatic, guys. Don't be like, I think it's kind of dashed. No, make it dramatic. Now we use our test point 0, 0. Plug it on in. 0 is supposedly greater than 3. That's false. That is not true. Therefore, we do not want to shade that area, so we go the opposite way, which would be over there. For number 23, we got to solve for y first. So we subtract 3x, bring down your negative 2y, divide everything by negative 2. Remember, when you divide or multiply by a negative, you flip the inequality. And that's a positive 3/2 x minus 6. If you don't believe me, once again, put it in your calculator. All right, so when we graph it, we go to our y is -6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there. And then our slope is 3/2. So up 3 over 2, up 3 over 2. Once again, this did not have that equal sign under there, so it's going to be dashed. And then we're going to do the point 0, 0. We're going to test it out. So 0 is supposedly greater than -6. That is true. Therefore, I need a shade where that point is. Done. All right, so now we got a system. Y is less than 6. Remember Hoy-Vux. That's important because y is a horizontal. So I'm going to go to the y-axis, go to +6. And then it's a horizontal line. But before I start drawing, remember, it doesn't have that equal sign under there, so it's going to be dashed. Okay, we need to test out the point 0, 0. That's true. So therefore, this is all going to be shaded in. Okay, next one. It's in slope-intercept form, so I go to positive 3. My slope is 1 over 1, so up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, and so forth. Okay, once again, still don't have that equal sign under there, so it's dashed. We can use that same test point, the origin. That is false. Therefore, I got to go the opposite way. If you stop at that point on your test, it is wrong. The answer is where they both collide. So I need to get rid of all of that because I don't see any red there. And everything else is good to go. That's your solution. And remember to check yourself in your calculator, please. Don't be that person. All right. Okay, same thing. So let's start with blue. All right, my y-intercept's -1. My slope is a -1 over 1, so down 1, right 1, down 1, right 1. Remember, if you have a negative slope, you should be going down the mountain. All right, so it doesn't have that equal sign under there, so it's dashed. Weird that I keep giving you dashed ones. It's almost like I don't want you to forget to dash it. Test point 0, 0. Close, but it's good. All right, so 0 is supposedly greater than -1. That is true. So I need to make sure that that is included. Okay, next one. Y-intercept is a positive 2. And my slope is 1/2, so up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2. All right, and finally, we have the equal sign under there, so it's a solid line. Let's test out the point 0, 0. That is false, ladies and gentlemen, so we need to go the opposite way. So I don't want to include the origin, so I go the other way. Once again, that's not my solution. My solution is just where they crisscross, so I got to get rid of that and that. And don't be lazy. There we go. So that is my solution. All right, let's convert to y. Subtract 5x over. Divide everything by -3. When we multiply or divide by a negative, we flip. So that's 5/3 x minus 1. Let's go ahead. I'm going to erase this. All right. Let's convert. Can I move that? No. Get out of here. I don't want you there anymore. It's like I'm, all right, well, it is what it is. All right, so x plus 3y is greater than -21. Let's subtract on over that x. Divide everything by 3. We get to keep because we just divided by a positive. So that's a -1/3 x minus 7. And now we need to graph those. All right, so let's do the blue one first. Go to -1, and your slope is 5/3, so up 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, over 3, and down 5. Well, that kind of messes that up, huh? Okay. Down 5, left 3, which is going to be like there. It does not have the equal sign, so it's going to be dashed. Let's try out 0, 0. So is 0 less than -1? No. So I got to go the opposite way. All right, let's do this one. -7 is going to be like down here, y'all. And then it's a -1/3. So down 1 over 3, and then up 1 over 3, up 1 over 3, up 1 over 3. All right, this time it still does not have that equal sign under there, so it's dashed again. Let's check out the 0, 0 point. So 0 is greater than -7. That's true. So we need to shade on that side. Remember, that's not my solution. My solution is where they crisscross. So I need to get rid of that. And I think we're good. Maybe just tighten it up a little bit. All right, that's our solution. And last one over here. Okay. Subtract 11x. Divide by -8. When we divide by a negative, we flip that inequality. I don't know why I did 8/11 as your slope, but let's just go with it. All right, what's the other one? Y is less than or equal to 6. Okay. Now I've messed it up. All right, so if we go ahead and we graph the blue, -5 is here. And once again, I have no idea why I did 11/8, but okay. So let's go up 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Over 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like here-ish. It's going to be dashed. Test it out. That's true. Once again, Hoivux. Y equals our horizontal. So we go up to 6 on the y-axis, and it's a horizontal, which means side to side. Think about the horizon. If you forget, look at my door. It tells you. It's got that equal sign under there, so you want to have a solid line. And once again, we test out the point 0, 0. That is true. Therefore, we want all of that shaded. Our solution is where they crisscross. So just that. All right. All right, this is the one I was talking about in class. Every single year, I have 36 algebra students in my class, and only 2 of you get it right. And then I'm like, what happened? Please be one of those 2 people. I'd really appreciate it. First of all, you got to select all correct answers. Second of all, you actually have to graph it. So there's a lot happening. But before you even graph it, let's start with A. Both boundary lines are included. So for both of them to be included, they would both have to have that equal sign under there. And the top one doesn't. So that's wrong. If you look at B, all are included on one, not included on the other one. Look, this top one, they are not included because that's going to be a dashed line. Do you remember how we talked if it's a dashed line, it's like kind of, but not really. It's like, oops, just kidding, like really close, but not this line. So those are not going to be, these are going to be included. So B is correct. All right, so let's actually go ahead and graph them. For the top one, we need to subtract x over. So my y-intercept's -2. My slope is -1 over 1. So drop down 1 over 1, drop down. Didn't have that equal, so it's dashed. We're going to test point 0, 0, which is here. That is true. So we want to include it. Okay, so let's do the other one. Subtract your 2x over. +1, down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1. And then it's opposite. And guys, I'm running out on time on this one, so the next video will start literally right here.